Kaladon ka Jingiatai ka basani bha ha ka bayadei ba ka jing persang ya ka Rukom rep Khlem Dawai ne organic farming hapo ka jela ne ka mission organic. Haba juba Halor ka jingkeli ba wanra arunong yalam kaliang persha ba arwi lengdo bat bun ki MLA na kaliang ka menteri ka tenat ka rep karyang kong amprin lengdo kala pentep badan ki jaka rep kum hari bhoi bat kiwe ki jaka ki balaya chakmat ha ka ni ka kam rep Khlem Dawai.
That on the 12th of June 2014, state discontinued chemical cultivation practices. Subsequent to that, over and above the fact that we were not anyways eligible for this fertilizer sanctions and subsidies for the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers. Subsequently in 2022, because farmers expressed the inability to quickly shift from non-organic to organic practices, a small window was then decided as a policy by the Department of Agriculture. So the intention now is to ensure that we address this entire organic application in a phased manner. We have earmarked, or shall we say we have looked at the entire map of cultivable land, and we are now slowly increasing this and placing it under the map of organic farming. So this year, in the next 4 to 5 years, we expect to ensure that about 100 hectares of land will be cultivable under organic mission. Second question you asked, sir, can you repeat?
Outlets for, these organically produced crops.
Beg your pardon, sir?
These outlets, markets to sell this, marketing of these organically produced crops, so that, the customers will know where you can obtain those organically grown crops.
So, Honorable Speaker, sir, we are now proud as a state of Meghalaya to talk about success stories. So there are success stories in the Ribhoi areas. We have a particular company, farmers have agglomerated together. We have the Jirang Organic Agro Farmers Producers. Let me tell you the kind of things that these groups are doing. And today, we have even provided for this group, because of its high demand on certain producers of this over and above spices, also fruits now. So we've also provided them with additional support of the waxing machine to increase the shelf life of their produce. They have a high turnover. I don't have the detail of that latest high turnover. These producers are now being marketed not just to Indian markets, but also looking at markets abroad. That is what the department is now engaging in its various schemes. Then we also have another group, the Eastern Ribhoi Organic Farmer Groups. So here as well, through this Mission Organic Value Chain Development for the Northeastern Region program, they are also marketing ginger, turmeric, amongst some of the other producers. We also have lay-by markets, where through the intervention, personal interest of the Honorable Chief Minister and his office, we are now going to be showcasing, not just showcasing, encourage sales in various huts across the state. We're also looking at exchange of these producers through border huts and other outlets. There's a big plan under this mission, sir, and I'm confident that we will reach somewhere.
Yes, Rukom, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I would like to commend the government for furthering the initiative in as far as converting our farmland into organic farms are concerned. Now, in view of the fact that the state had embarked upon this almost 10 years back, and substantial amount of fund has been spent both from the state exchequer, state fund, as well as from Government of India. Now there is a need to be really cautious, clear and cautious on one possibility of duplication of schemes. Because as per the inputs, I have some apprehension that there has been some duplication of schemes, meaning the areas which were already taken up under the state plan was also taken up by the fund from Government of India. Therefore, I would like to know from the Honorable Minister in charge, in view of this transition from the earlier mission organic to this new initiative, which is also same, may I know what is the total area which has been converted in as far as the certification of organic is concerned? The areas for which organic certifications have so far been issued with a breakup of the areas covered under state plan, state fund and the Government of India, so that the further areas which will be covered will have a complete clarity.
So the query raised by the Honourable Member Dr. Mukul Sangma sir encompasses a huge reply, because there are various components of sanctions, components of areas that we have achieved. We understand that he is the author of this vision and this important intervention. We are aware that he himself is also keenly observing the progress of the work. With your permission, sir, so that I do not waste the time of this August House, may I be permitted to lay all of these statements on the table of the House?
You may do that.
Yes, I'm not done yet, Mr. Speaker. Yes. Very important program, because it's not just confined to our focus on food security, but we also want to integrate our seriousness pertaining to our resolve to ensure nutritional security. Now, health and food, they are inseparable. So like what we Garo says, me, some, I always used to remind ourselves that what we eat, what we drink will determine our well-being. This is the same approach which is adopted by Britishers. Eat your food that in such a manner that you don't have to take medicines. So I think that's the whole concept, keeping in view the natural advantage that we have by default, because our farmers don't use pesticides. So my point is now here, keeping in mind the constraint of convincing people for transfer, or rather converting non-organic farming to real organic format. What is the total number of farmers who have participated so far, and how many certifications have been so far given for the farmers who have agreed to participate in these programs under Mission Organic preceding this launch of this program?
So under the Mission Organic Value Chain Development for Northeastern Regions, the physical progress area-wise and number of farmers, we had targeted 6,000, we have achieved 6,000. Number of farmers 6,000, achieved 5,126. FPOs we have targeted 12 and we have achieved 12. In the second phase, we have an area of 8,000 hectares targeted, achieved also 8,000, farmers 8,000. In fact, we have done much better in the second phase, where we have about 9,867 farmers already in the program. Then we also have FPOs, 16 numbers, both targeted and achieved. We understand, sir, that in order to achieve the target of organic farming, we have a big challenge: availability of alternative farming nutrition. So we've also looked at biofertilizers, and in fact, we are now having our own biofertilizer lab at Upper Shillong, the State Biological Control Lab. We are increasing our capacities to make sure that farmers have an alternative to nutrition for farming. We also have one in North Garden Hills, the biofertilizer unit at Nandikathal. Then we also have one biofertilizer unit at Khlem in East khasinews. So we are trying now, therefore, to not only encourage farmers, but we are also making sure that farmers are handheld in the right way. Certain areas in the state, which likely will take a much longer time to be included in the organic mob. For example, farmers who grow green vegetables, cauliflower, tomatoes. These are the farmers that, because of the conditions of their farming practice in so many years, they have not been able, or they may not be able to be weaned quickly to get into an organic mode. However, we have the other farming practices, the big plantations, multi-cropping plantations, where we don't have nutrient dependent farming produces. So those like ginger, we have turmeric, we have black pepper, and a host of other producers. And I myself, as a minister, I'm trying to familiarize myself with these great, developments that are now unfolding. And sir, the produce of the state of Meghalaya are known across the globe for their organic component. And Meghalayans, as a practice, through time immemorial, have always preferred to go for this organic plantation.